We have watched with admiration. Here's the thing about the advancement of his people. Bring to the table that you in the preservation of the peace of our nation. Ship for which every son and daughter of Ondo State should be proud and for which the with differences in political choices to an extent that has injected some unwarranted mistrust and compromised the brotherly harmony conceived by our forefathers. It cannot be our role to question the political choices people make in our modern democracy. But I'm sure we can all agree that it is patently wrong to deduce from the differences in political choices or religious beliefs the existence of any inherent animosity between our people. And it is patently wrong to allow such differences to erode confidence in our heritage and generate enmity and strife between our kith and kin. Our forefathers knew who they were and what they were doing when they forged a concrete alliance between Asante and Anloga during an era dominated by intense warfare. In the past century, both Asante and Anloga collaborated on many issues as the country struggled through periods of change. Asante Mine dutifully created an Anloga division as an equal part of the traditional administration of Kumasi. Indeed, we have gone further to create a unique traditional system of governance which provides for every ethnic group to be represented by its own chief on an equal basis. How better can one reflect the depth of our respect for harmonious community relations? It is in this evolution that you see and experience the heart and soul of Asante and the essence of its commitments from Otumfuor to this day. Asante does not go back on its word and does not renege on its commitments. Asante's strength has been built upon its fidelity to its word. So it has been over the centuries. So it is today. So it will be with the alliance entered into by my great uncles and the Anglo state. Obiwo, Mamawo, we do not enter the political space as traditional leaders, but you will permit me today to cast our minds back to the elections an African Republic. I do this most reluctantly, but with some personal feeling because of the need to clear some of the distortions that have festered and adversely affected our relations. There is no historian or political analyst who would deny that the odds were stacked against the favorite son of the Anglo state, Komla, when he the National Alliance of Liberals. Bedema was CP. Even though he had fallen out with President Nkrumah and spent time in exile, his political base was that of the CPP. When President Nkrumah was overthrown, the CPP was proscribed and its members banned from the dust. Apart from the area where he was heralded as a favorite son, in the rest of the country, the base from which he would draw his support had been removed. It was the political opposition to President Nkrumah which naturally benefited from the political process. Only politicians, not us traditional rulers, can understand and address the machinations at work then. What nobody can suggest on any evidence is that it had anything to do with Asante or any ethnic consideration for that matter. But Tobiwa, Mamawo, now consider why this means so much to me personally. When Komla Beli Bedema formed now National Alliance of he finds the man to be his right man as national chairman. The person he found to be his national chairman was no other than my own brother. Yes, my own brother, Brahma John Francis Kobna, son of the then reigning Asante Hima, Nanamis Wenyako. John Kobna, a distinguished lawyer, knew he was placing his future traditional prospects at risk by opting for frontline politics at the time. But he believed so much in the leadership of Bedema, he was willing to make the supreme sacrifice. Son of the Asante man, at the very heart of Meshia, be out there as the right-hand man of Afro Bedema. Indeed, there was an Asante conspiracy against him. And how does it feel for my own brother to make the sacrifice he made, only to hear the distortions that have persisted to this day? Clearly, it is only fair that we begin to debunk the myths and learn to separate the machinations which drive the conduct of individual politicians from the roots of their birth or their religious orientation. By the wisdom of our forefathers, the celebration of a church appropriately provides for a period of reflection and soul-searching for the settlement and resolution of discord within families and among the people. Today, the Bawumia, chiefs, Abogduada, and queens of Anglo state can set a beautiful example for our nation by extending the process of discord resolution beyond the limited family and traditional environment. You can help kickstart a process to purge ourselves of past contaminants of all types, flush out the sources of unwarranted discord, growth of a healthier climate for public discourse and social and even political interaction. Our mafia, Asante thanks you for remaining true to the ideals of our forefathers. We applaud the Tobiwa, Mamagawo, and elders for the loyalty and good counsel which they have served their proud state. And we thank you again and again for hospitality. As we prepare for brother to bid goodbye, I ask in the spirit of the moment to let the elegance of Otumfuor and the energy of and to the music of peace, to the glory of one nation we proudly call Ghana. Will we forever triumph together in the arms of great Ghana. Azalo!
Hello. Now we are now with the Bawumia is going to address us.
Don't sing it.
Members of the diplomatic corps, Tokyo, Mamao, Sumagao, the media, the entire citizenry of the Anglo state, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ndona Milo. I am honored to be here with you today and a source of pride to be representing the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. I bring you his warmest greetings as well as his sincere apologies for his inability to join you all on this exciting and grand occasion. We have all traveled far and near from all corners of Ghana and beyond to join Tokyo, Mamao, and elders of the 36 states of Anglo in celebrating the Grand Deba of the annual Hogbe Festival. I would like to take this opportunity to specifically thank and welcome His Royal Majesty Otumfuor II Asantehene and the Kwewuyene for making it to this festival. I can say that the historic records show that the last Asantehene to be in Anglo was Asantehene Kofi Karikari, and this was over 120 years ago. And therefore, this is truly a historic occasion to have Otumfuor II to come. We have been given the history by the Otumfuor. The relationship between Asante and Anglo states dates back to the 19th century during the reign of Asantehene Kofi Karikari, when the Asante, Akwemu, and Anglo states formed a tripartite alliance. Hogbe, as we all know, is celebrated to remember how the Anglos escaped the tyrannical rule of Togbe Agokoli about 400 years ago. It is a season of joy and merrymaking, a time to reconnect with our culture, a rich history, a time to share, a time to reconcile with one another, and a time for families to reunite. Indeed, we give praise and thanks to the Almighty for seeing us safely and peacefully through the COVID-19 pandemic. This festival has not been celebrated ever since the breakout of the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, which brought many countries, businesses, and organizations to their knees. But for the good interventions and measures instituted by the Royal Majesty Toge Sri III and the good people of Anglo, this festival has once again seen the light of day. Toge Chairman, the Anglo state over the past 60 years has strived and contributed in many ways towards the development of our dear nation, Ghana. So as we celebrate the 60th Hogbe Festival today, we must look back, even as we take stock of our achievements and challenges over the years, and re-strategize on how we can further accelerate the development of the Anglo state and Ghana at large. Hogbe Chairman, the theme for this year's celebration, 60 years of Anloga, United for Development, sustaining our unique cultural commonwealth for the future generation. The organizers of the program could not have chosen a better theme than this. Cultural sustainability in itself has to do with maintaining cultural beliefs, cultural practices, heritage conservation, culture as its own entity, and the question of whether or not any given culture will exist in the future. The people of Anglo have come this far with their unique culture and tradition, and preserving such culture and heritage will be a legacy for the future and unborn generations. From their rich cultural heritage to cultural and creative industries, culture is both an enabler and driver of the economic, social, and environmental dimensions of sustainable development of our people. It is, however, a common knowledge that Anglo traditional area, especially Anloga and Keta, is one of the growing, well-patronized and highly competitive tourist destinations in Ghana and beyond. Aside the enormous tourism potential of the districts, which draw hundreds of tourists here every week and several thousands every year, it is naturally a peaceful area to sit and relax. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will be remiss if I do not touch on the economy. We all know that we are facing a global economic crisis, which Hogbe III referred to. This is a crisis that is being felt all over the world, and the cost of living has accelerated across the globe. If you look at the cost of living as measured by the rate of inflation between 2019 and now, the cost of living or the rate of inflation has increased by 5-fold in Ghana. It has increased by 16-fold in Togo. It has increased by 11-fold in Senegal. It has increased by 7-fold in Cote d'Ivoire and 8-fold in the United Kingdom. The increase in the cost of living has caused hardships, not only in Ghana, but many countries. In fact, the BBC noted about 2 weeks ago that so far this year, there have been 93 public protests against, in 93 countries, we've had public protests against the increasing cost of living. It is important to note, however, that in the midst of all of this turmoil, we should put things in perspective. The government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has, over the last 6 years, taken many steps to reposition and transform the economy. So whilst we have hardships today, which we are working very hard to alleviate, and inshallah we will deal with them. Whilst we have hardships today, let us not forget what we have been able to do in the last 6 years. Let me recall that our government in the last 6 years has created more jobs than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Let me recall that we have constructed more roads than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Let me interchanges than any other government in the Fourth Republic. And let me say that we have built more airports than any other government, more railways than any other government. We have built more classrooms than any other government in the Fourth Republic. We have constructed more fish landing sites than any other government in the Fourth Republic. We have also restored teacher and nursing training allowance. Beyond infrastructure, we have implemented many transformational policies. Over the last 6 years, Ghana has successfully issued the national ID card. For the first time in our history, Ghana has a digital property address system. For the first time in our history, Ghana has implemented mobile money interoperability between the telcos and the banks. This is the first in Africa, and Ghana is the #1 country in Africa for access to financial services. For the first time in our history, any Ghanaian who has a national ID card can open a bank account sitting at home and don't have to go to any bank to fill a form. For the first time in our history, we have drones delivering medical supplies to our people in the very remote areas, whether it's blood, whether it's vaccines, whether it's medicines, snake bites, and so on. If you are a young Muslim, the drones will come to you. Afran planes, the drones will come to you. The drones will come to you, and so on and so forth. And Ghana, is the whole world's largest medical drone delivery. The whole world. For the first time in history, people can buy electricity units on their mobile phone. If they can even buy it from China, Germany, Japan, or the UK, and buy their units on their mobile phone. For the first time in our history, we have one district, one factory. For the first time in our history, we are clearing goods paperless in the port. For the first time, we have digitized the driver's license process. And for the first time in our history, Ghana has implemented the Ghana.gov platform, which is a one-stop shop for public service delivery. For the first time in our history, Ghanaians can renew their national health insurance sitting at home on their mobile phones. For the first time in our history, Ghanaian students can apply for student loans without the need for a guarantor. A Ghana card is sufficient. For the first time in our history, a government gave Ghanaians of living, the cost of fuel prices, food prices, and so on. And we have to do more to make sure we can relieve the burdens of Ghanaians. I'm so proud to be here in Angr for the celebration of the Hogbe Festival. It is a fantastic festival and we are so happy to be part of it. Once again, I'd like to thank Otumfuor, and Thomas for this invitation for us to come. God bless our real estate. God bless all of us. And God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Ashanti Obafiaga Tabi Savu Yemana She Afia Potio Papadano